This is your March 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this is your reading. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and join me on my channel this month. So we are opening up with the energy of the Ace of Swords. Now Aquarius, whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to get through. And I think there's a moment of clarity that lands quite early on in the month actually, that, you know, there are many aspects of your life that no longer hold the same meaning. In fact, there may be a lot of possessions or things around you in your immediate environment that you're really looking at through new eyes right now. And in this month of decluttering, of a spring detox, if you like, there's a significance to actually taking the opportunity to get rid of those things or withdraw your energy away from what isn't resonating and isn't working, because more than ever, with the beginning of this ace coming through, this new energy, new potential, new pathway opening up, we have to create the space for it. And you might have been asking or setting an intention for a very long time for something specific or a whole series of things to show up in your physical reality, and being perplexed and unclear about why some of those things haven't shown themselves yet. But so often it can be because we're at capacity and we've just literally created no energetic space for it. Now, March is a month that has the contrast of being both deeply vulnerable and at the same time incredibly empowering. We have major planetary shifts happening, which means that there's all new cosmic conversations that are going to be playing out for you this month. We arrive at the full moon in Virgo on the 7th of the month. Beautiful earth medicine. And as it lights up that 8th house, there's a couple of things going on for you. First of all, I think there are some secrets being revealed. Maybe they're the secrets of the universe. Maybe someone is literally sharing information with you. Or maybe you're being given insight into something, but the illumination of that is quite powerful. Because once you know that, there's almost no going back. But at the same time, this full moon for you is also saying, no more pressure. Yeah, no more pressure to have it all done, to be productive, to respond, to heal it. You know, this is an opportunity for you to completely change that language and narrative, and the clarity that lands for you through the course of this month as we talk about second house, which really addresses your sense of value. You know, we have to be able to put some of the disappointments and the setbacks and the things that haven't materialized in the way that you'd expected them to by this time in your life to the side and get on with what is right in front of us, knowing that you're still shaping and carving and intending so much more to show up for you. I think as well there's this feeling that flimsy excuses from people are not holding any water with you anymore. Your mind has been stretched so far beyond the experiencing of being able to cope with a lower density energy, or people that are trying to dull you or bring you down with their own avoidance, their inability to deal with their own stuff. Because you have no capacity to hold that anymore. You can't regulate their emotions. And I feel so much of the grief and the heaviness of that 5 isn't even yours. You may have experienced the same thing. You may too also have your own wound energy that you're dealing with. There's the vulnerability of March. But at the same time, it's not about having to carry that weight of someone else through this month. And there's a breakthrough that comes as you realize, I need to be all in my life, in my path. Not to the degree that I'm sacrificing myself so much that if this doesn't work out, you know, the stakes are so high that my nervous system can't cope, that I'm fueling myself by fear. No, this is about being all into the medicine of every single moment and what it holds for you. Because what you're being exposed to in March, whether it is disarming you, whether it's enlightening you, whether it's challenging you, whether it's hurting you, maybe a little bit of everything actually, Aquarius. But regardless, it's like we can't go back. And so the question is, okay, what do I do now with this information? And what I see is a determination to continue to expand and to grow and to evolve. Now, the Nine of Swords, yes, brings about these high levels of anxiety for us. But I think some of this is falling because you understand and appreciate that what it means for you, and perhaps some of the changes that will now have to take place in your life may be uncomfortable for you, but they may be a lot more uncomfortable for other people. You see, you've already been through this cycle with Saturn in your sign, and on the same day as the full moon, it's shifting out into Pisces. And so we have learnt lessons, and it's left a deep imprint in you. You know, and you'll carry that experience deeply with you. But I don't see Aquarius like showing up this month, projecting that fear onto others. I think it's more about knowing what you know, or seeing what you see, feeling into those things, and kind of understanding the enormity or the significance of what might happen next as a result of that. And there's like kind of this like connecting the dots moment that I see coming through for you. What we need to remember is, regardless of what is going on around us, you know, there's still this requirement for you to be able to show up to the things that really mean the most to you in your life. And March is a month where we're asking you to ask for more. You know, this is an opportunity to really walk your talk in many ways and see the value of all that you are and what you bring to the table. And the Ten of Cups is really putting this vision forward of like, these are the things that make me happy. This is what it's going to take for me to be able to sustain and feel nurtured and really enriched by the life that I've created for myself. And as we said, it's through the decluttering, it's through the recognizing what no longer holds meaning that you create space, and then this can start to flow in. Now, we may have some family situations going on. We may have some what feels like quite high stakes in regards to something. And here's where I want to say, you know what, Aquarius, you're still learning too, which means that you don't have to pretend that you can meet everyone's expectations, that you have all the answers. None of us do. We're constantly in this state of continuing to learn and develop and grow. And so the vulnerability of perhaps at times having to put your hands up to people closest and nearest to you and say, I don't know the answer to that, is the thing that can be deeply cleansing. So I don't want you to be too quick to dismiss the gift of feeling that vulnerability. Now, as we move into mid-month and we have Jupiter and Chiron having this intense conversation, you know, this healing energy is bringing things into the light. It's steadied, if you like, by beautiful aspects with Venus shifting into Taurus, loves to be in the sign on the 16th. We also have the asteroid goddess Juno, who rules over marriages, partnerships, agreements, also coming into the sign of Taurus. So that earth energy helping to kind of ground in and hold steady any tender, difficult conversations that might have to play out through that beginning part of the month. But remember, this is about not adding pressure to yourself in any situation. And like I said, whatever you are going through, you're going to get through. Now, there may be a nice upside because, of course, you know, that 8th house energy of the Virgo full moon may deliver some unexpected windfalls. You might have something coming in that you were not anticipating. Even if it doesn't land straight away, maybe you'll get sight of it, or you'll be informed about something. But the world comes in and says, you know what, it's also time to wrap this up. What needs to be wrapped up? What needs to be allowed to go to the next level? Are you holding it back, or who around you is trying to hold the energy back of this experience that has taught you everything that you need to understand at that level? And if you don't move on or allow yourself to kind of graduate now, there's going to be an uncomfortable feeling of being trapped or enmeshed in something that you know is no longer serving or working for your highest good. And nobody can really tell you what that feels like. It comes to a understanding of becoming more aligned to that sense of trust within yourself that says, I just know that it's the right time now for me to be able to move on, or to make this decision, or to allow this to fall away, or for me to withdraw my energy. And I think there's going to be a profound sense of relief, which will give you all the validation in the world that you need, that you've made or about to make, or the contemplation of the decision is actually the right one for you. Now, of course, we've got equinox this month, coming in on the 20th as the sun shifts into Aries and that third house for you. A whole dominance of Aries energy actually throughout March, meaning, of course, that everything is being lit up in the way that you think, the language that you use, and some of the short-term tactical plans that you need to put in place to get from A to B. Don't get me wrong, you still have this bigger vision that has to be an absolute priority for you, but there might be through this month of March a little bit of a need to be incredibly fluid in terms of how you approach like some of these bigger planetary conversations, and the shifts taking place may be a bit disarming and disrupting to your equilibrium. By the time we come to equinox, I feel you're a little bit more clear-minded about how some of this is going to come into a more manageable order for you, shall we say. And like I said, you have a connect the dots moment. Now, they often talk about like March madness, and what I feel for you this month, Aquarius, is that there's a touch of that, but actually I think it's a stroke of genius. Other people might be looking at you and going, you're absolutely off your rocker, but you just know you're being led, you're being guided, there's signs coming in spiritually from your guides, there's just this innate trust. I can't not do this, I can't not follow this. And as you do, that moment of epiphany and breakthrough comes. And there's also a beautiful sense of recovery and healing, and kind of being able to bounce back from something. And even if you are coming full circle, and you may find that through the month of March, that you're kind of arriving back at something that feels like, wow, okay, I thought I'd made more progress than this. Well, you have. You have to look at a different approach or a different way of perceiving some of the things that you've gone through, okay? But of course, the energy of the star does link into your sign, Aquarius, which is beautiful because it makes me feel that you're showing up more authentically you this month. If you want some extra insight into that, my Sacred Soul support this month is a beautiful meditation around becoming more authentically you. In the shadow, we're also looking at dissolving disappointment. And, these are sacred tools that are over and above the soul stories to really support you on your journey. I also just want to take this moment to share with you, my new book is also out for pre-order, MUSINGS. You can find more information for all of these things in the comment and description box underneath. And I appreciate all your support of my work. So, of course, the other big news after the new moon in Aries on the 21st, we have Pluto coming into your sign, Aquarius, on the 23rd. And, you're going to start to, I think you already have been these last few weeks, feel this energy very differently. And there's almost like this compulsion to want to make changes and adjustments, and there's a deep sense of preparation. We talked a lot about that in February. It's like preparation energy, and this is an opportunity to start really demonstrating to yourself that you've understood so much of what you've gone through, and that you have so much within you to be able to navigate the next step. There's a deep sense of protecting your knowing, if you like, and the knowledge and the wisdom, and not allowing anyone or anything to disrupt that. It's like sharing what you believe or what you think and having people pull it down. I think you're going to have a thicker skin this month to be able to deal with that. And even if it does trigger you and you have a bit of that vulnerability, then there's an invitation for a little more healing there. But, as we progress through the month, we flip the switch and we come into this deep sense of sacred self-empowerment. And from here, there's an opportunity for you to start to really consider, how do I create this life of substance for myself? What is it going to take? I need the immersive experiences now that show me that everything I've learned, what I'm being exposed to, what I'm coming to terms with, I have some sense of sovereignty about what happens next. And as much as you may look at the brokenness or the devastation around you or in the world or very close to home, there's an invitation here that says, well, you came forth to be able to not only heal, but to show a different way, to create a new pathway. And so you'll be given an awful lot of inspiration and ideas through the course of March, Aquarius, that are also meant to be gifted to you exactly this moment, because it's not even just about how they're going to support you. This is generational. It's how you're going to use these things to support your children, the community, other people in your life. Now, Mars is shifting into Cancer on the 25th. Again, this is where we show up as the hero in our own storyline. And, these shifts and changes, they're all activating different parts of you, different parts of your own unique personal natal chart, of your soul makeup, the contract that you have. And it's a clean slate in many ways through the month of March. Now, there's an incredibly interesting conversation that takes place around the 27th, 28th as Mercury and Jupiter light up and something goes a bit viral, or it moves very quickly. Information travels fast. Now, you remember around the full moon, there might be something revealed to you. So you need to be careful as to whether, you choose to share or impart, or it may be that something that you hear as a kind of heads up then comes out and it's moving quickly. But again, there's this sense of you knowing where you need to be or what you need to do, and just really being able to trust in that. Now, even though I think you may feel a little bit let down in regards to some of the relationships and connections around you through the course of this month, I think you'll also be able to really come to terms with what is worth your energy and where you need to perhaps take that away and sit and work through your own sense of forgiveness or healing around why you've endured, or why you're still forcing or pushing or yearning or striving for something. If someone is unable to show up to do the work necessary to be a part of your pathway moving forward, doesn't mean they might never come back around into your life, but perhaps there's a moment right now of illumination that says, if I'm going to heal from this, if I'm going to give myself the best chance to create the space for the things that really matter to me and let my heart's desires start to birth beautifully into existence, which, by the way, there's a suggestion with the culmination of this energy that is right here, waiting in the wings, waiting for the braveness and the boldness of you harnessing that Aries energy and saying, I will be this inner warrior and I will make the tough call. Yeah. So if you're new to the channel, we reveal the 3 cards in our extended reading. You will find that link in the comment and the description box underneath. I'm going to go ahead and just clarify the main reading now, just to see what additional messages or twists and turns we might be taking for your extended. Just beginning with that Ace of Swords, we have the 7 of Wands. And we've got the Hanged Man. Now, all the decks that I use are also listed below, Aquarius. Okay, 3 of Wands. And we have Temperance. Okay, 9 of Swords coming through with fire energy. So, Queen of Wands there. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries perhaps. Or maybe a specific person that is... Like we said, I feel, again, that 9 of Swords, it's not so much about you, it's kind of like the stress you're holding about the implication or the other party involved or something like this. 9 of Wands also, we've got Strength coming through. Picked an extra one there, we'll take it. King of Swords, we have the Lovers. Five of Swords, Judgment. I think there's some inevitable decisions and perhaps even inevitable conclusions that you arrive at through the course of March. And Knight of Wands here. And like we said, if it no longer holds the same meaning and the exposure of information or energy or just truth, you kind of can't you just don't have the capacity anymore. Like it's going to show you how much you've changed if you didn't think that you had. And I don't believe that to be true. I know that you can recognize the amount of growth that you've been through, but I think this will show you really clearly. But I love the crossroads moment here, and there's something deeply empowering about that judgment energy coming through as well. You know, it gives us that rebirth. Okay, so I'm just going to use Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my own deck. Again, you can find all the details of this over on my website. Please do check it out. Ships worldwide. Okay, we have another Spirit Lion. So you've got two real strong power, strength energies showing up this month. Blossoming Soul Song. Love this. I think it's the reminder of, like, regardless of circumstances, our ability to still derive joy, tap into creativity, discover solutions. You know, it's always there available to us. Look how much like golden energy you have coming in here. Lots of yellow. It's beautiful, deeply abundant. In fact, you know, abundance seeks soulmates. So, you know, we need you to open up to love and the feeling of that, so that you can really court the abundance that wants to come through for you. Okay, we have Karmic Cause and Effect and Maverick of the Light, Dancer of the Shadows coming in as well. All right, finally I'm just going to go ahead and pull an energy oracle for Aquarius for March. Okay, adjacent possibilities. Interesting. Okay. So Aquarius, if you would like to join me for the extended version of your reading, we will also cover off a couple of cards for a specific personal question that you have that might not come through in the main reading, as these are general. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into my channel and for being patient for your reading this month. And I wish you beautiful blessings for this month ahead. I will see you over on the extended if you're joining me there. You take good care. I'll see you again next month. Bye.